Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh YouTube. This is Ali recording a video in response to Big Rick. Hey Big Rick, got your video. First of all, I appreciate the fact that you put your responses to me in video. I appreciate that. It definitely helps with all the massive comments, especially with YouTube not working properly. So you said that you responded to four of my questions. I'm not sure which four questions that you responded to, though. The one main question that I guess you attempted to answer for me was the purpose of Jesus and everything else like that. And you said that basically God needed to come down on earth to experience what man goes through as far as sinning and temptations and stuff like that. But let me ask you a question. Doesn't the manufacturer know what's good and what's not good for, its creation? I mean, I'm an engineer, and to see myself becoming a computer or becoming a radio or becoming something that I manufacture, becoming a tablet, because that's what I work in the pharmaceutical industry. Do I need to do that to know what's good or bad for my pill, or do I need to know what's good or bad for my computer? I don't think so. Right? I mean, if I'm the creator, I should know what is good and what is bad. And, you're saying that God needs to experience sin to be able to know how to judge properly. Well, first of all, God is the person that defines what a sin is. So if he doesn't know if he didn't know how it felt, how would he be deciding if it's a sin or not? So that argument, I think, is really not an argument that I can accept, because to me it's flawed. From the standpoint of me being an engineer, to me that's really flawed, because I don't see myself turning into being a computer to know what's good for the computer or not. Okay, then apparently you don't understand the history of Islam, and that's something that you should really look into. The way that the Quran was revealed, it was not revealed one book at a time. This is the entire book at once. It was revealed in multiple pieces, just so that the people would have, would be able to understand when the perfect law of God came. Okay, and the 12 wives you talked about Muhammad. Well, he had those 12 wives before where the Quran mentioned only 4. And if you go back to the history of Islam, you see that all of the Sahabas, all of the followers of the prophets that had multiple wives, more than 4, the jurisdiction was that if you had more than 4, after that you keep them, but you don't marry anymore. And when you do decide to marry, you cannot have more than 4. All right, so that's that thing. Then you talked about the satanic verses. I still don't even know what the satanic verses are. If you can point me in the direction where in the Quran it refers to these satanic verses, I'd appreciate it. Other than that, I really don't know what you're talking about. All right. Then you talk about Muhammad changing his strategy from peace to defense, from defense to offense. I think you need to really go back and check that, because the way that everything developed, again, it was set for the perfect law. And jihad, you really need to go back and find out what jihad is. Jihad is not to fight a war. Jihad is a struggle for religious freedom. Okay? So it can be an intellectual war, it can be a physical war, it can just be a war within yourself. A struggle for truth. That's what jihad is. Now, I know a lot of Muslims today, when they say jihad, they're talking about going and blowing up themselves or something like that. That's not what Islam teaches. And I think you're smarter than that to say something like that. Okay. Then basically, you talk about Muhammad rejecting his teachings, and Muhammad's family rejecting his teachings, and his tribe rejecting his teachings. I relate to you the story of Noah. Everybody knows the story of Noah. Basically, all of his, friends, family, everybody rejected his teaching except his 3 sons. That was it. Even his wife rejected his teachings, right? According to the Bible story. So the entire, people of Noah were flooded to death. So to say that that is a reason why Muhammad wasn't a prophet, that doesn't fly, because if you accept Noah as a prophet of God, then you should, I mean, here at least, you know, some of the people in Muhammad's era, they accepted his truth without question. Here in the time of Noah, 900 years, and or however long he lived, and they, you know, still people never accepted. Okay. Um, then you say about following an incomplete leader. I think Muhammad was the best leader. You know, outside of being, you know, a religious, spiritual leader, he was a very good political leader. He's a very good, you know, leader on the battlefield. You know, he's a very well-rounded leader. He wasn't just a leader in one aspect of life. You know, here Jesus is just a spiritual leader, and I'm sorry, but you can't in the world you cannot just be a spiritual leader and get by. You know, you need to take care of your family. You need to you know, and Muhammad was also a good family man. You know, he took care of all his wives and daughters and children. You know, so that's basically, I think, you know, if I were to model my life, I mean, can every Christian model a life along the lines of Jesus? I don't think so. You know, I mean, all he did was spiritual works. He didn't have a family, so he couldn't really. I mean, he can tell you like when I was a single guy, you know, I can tell all my friends about how to have a great relationship, but I never had a relationship of my own, so I don't know the struggles that they go through. You know, now that I'm married, okay, I don't live with my wife yet because, you know, she's not here yet. But, you know, it's a whole different scenario when I'm in the position. You know what I'm saying? So that thing. Then you said, you know, you want someone to prepare you. Oh yeah, basically you were talking about, you know, you know, you need someone to absolve your sin type of thing. I can't exactly, I didn't write down exactly the words out of your mouth, but the comment that I wrote to that was that basically you want someone to provide the way out for you. As a human being, you know, you should be willing to accept whatever, you know, the punishment for whatever wrong you did. And that's just the way that you know, Islam teaches you. Whatever wrong you did, you are responsible for it. It's not God, it's not you know, Muhammad, it's not anyone but you. You know, I mean, if okay, granted, okay, we first of all start off on two different tables. In the case of Christianity, you believe that you're born with sin. You know, in Islam, we believe you're sin free. Okay, and as you go along, that's when you start accumulating sin based on whatever you do, blah, 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 whatever. So I think that's also something that is worth discussing, you know, because I think that's a very important topic, because without that, if you accept the fact that you're born without sin, then, you know, requiring a sacrifice for you to go to heaven is not an issue anymore, because now you know that whatever sin that you did, you're responsible for. So I think that's what we need to talk about. And you know, even within your Bible, it says that the father should not bear the iniquities of the children, and children will not bear the iniquities of the father. And to me, that translates to, you know, me not being responsible for what Father Adam did, and Father Adam not being responsible for what I am doing. So, you know, from even within your own Bible, forget my Quran, within your own Bible tells you that. Okay, so that's basically all I wanted to cover in this. And just on a personal note, I'm not darkalleyboy. It's N Ali Akbar. So, you know, if you can't spell that, you can just say Ali, simple. You're right. So just wanted to say that. And the rest of the YouTube videos, thanks for viewing, and inshallah I'll respond to the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.